Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I am here to share with you my journey through trying to create a lot of Christmas cards and tags, and some of these things I might sell, some of these things I might give to people, some of these things I'm preparing for other people's challenges. And what I'm doing is I'm attempting to treat it as a production line, and I have decided to share the steps that I'm going through with you. I have no idea how this will turn out, but anyway, you're here, I'm here, let's get going. What I have done is I have cut my entire pad of Heartfelt Creations Christmas, and it is the Sparkling Poinsettia collection. And what I ended up with was tons and tons of potential cards. So these are the smaller sized, I don't know what size exactly they are. Let me see if I get my ruler out here. They're approximately 4 by a little more than 5, and of course you can cut them into a bunch of different sizes because there's frames within frames on these, and there's all different kinds, and some are blank so you can do your stamping yourself inside. And you know, you get your cardstock, you put this on the front and decide what you want to do with it. So they're beautiful, and I don't know how many are there, but it makes that sound. And then the pad actually has a lovely bunch of sentiments that you can just place on the inside, prayers that go with it, blank cards, and these ones are about 5 by 7s. So there's a nice grouping of those. And again, this is the whole pad, and I'm just focusing on the card side because of course they have the other side, and I chose to treat them as cards and cut them all out. And this is not necessarily including some of their smallest tags. And then this is, the majority of it is the 6 by 6s, which again, this is a little smaller than a 6 by 6. It could be placed inside a 6 by 6. And you end up with a good stack of 6 by 6s when you break up the pad in that form, and some smaller squares, and again, lots of different ways you could go about this. Okay, so that's the 6 by 6 in general. And then another stack, and these are all the small little tags and sentiments and cute little items that you could use as an embellishment on the card, or you could cut out the tags themselves, or you can use them as the sentiments inside. Okay, so lots of options and tons of paper. So I cut the whole pad up, and that's what I got from the pad. Let me move this out of the way. Then I took the stamps that go with it, and I started stamping and embossing and just having fun. So this is actually the Sparkling Poinsettia stamp, and it's a good size stamp, and it has a die that goes along with it, and the poinsettias are fairly intricate. I like them. They come with the little centers too if you don't want to put your own centers in. Now this paper is strange. It's not full metallic. It's like a dulled metallic, and this is not from Heartfelt Creations. This is just cardstock. And I chose to emboss it with a black and see what it does. Sorry about the glare, but I'm trying to give you a bit of a close-up so you can see how it came out. I had trouble embossing because if you look right here, you cannot leave the heat gun on this material too long. It does this. Yeah, and I decided to, you know, keep this because there's lots of them that came out perfect, and I really like the texture. So I'm still going to be using a lot of these. They're really neat. And then this is on a regular plain red cardstock. And then I embossed some gold. which is just lovely. Has a lovely glimmer shine to it. I have embossed some silver. I'm telling you, this is a production line. I've been at this already for weeks, and I have no idea how many uploads I'll do. This better be called a series, huh? And then some plain black and some red embossing. And I'm having trouble showing you the sparkle and glitter on that one, but it's there. Then I went on to vellum, because I'm playing with vellum as well. And I silver embossed on vellum. No, I don't know what I'm going to be doing with all these. Your guess is as good as mine. In the meantime, I kind of had fun, you know, trying out all the different papers and the different embossing. And this one is all done in white. I think that's really pretty. That's very, I could picture that on some cards with some blues and silvers. And then with the stamp that is their Sparkling Poinsettia candle, which I think is just beautiful. And it comes with this Noel Merry Christmas circle, which seems like it's going to be easy enough to cut out or punch out, and a Tidings of Comfort and Joy, and then the lovely little stamp, the candle with the poinsettias on it. And I stamped a bunch of those, and I set them up on this particular one so I could cut out squares or fussy cut, whichever way I decided to go with that. And then these ones I just placed on the bottom. There's actually a line down the middle, so I could just use these as fold over and put them right on the card. I have some of the Noels all stamped out and ready to go. And then I started playing around with color. And the first version of coloring I did it with watercolor pencils. And I don't have anything expensive. I just have these ones that I bought with my 50% coupon one day at AC Moore, and they're the Fantasia. They're okay. I'm thinking there's probably some better versions out there, but it's interesting. You know, I colored them up with 2 or 3 different colored pencils, and I did some red, little raspberry on the not berries so much, but the flower centers. And then I did some pink in case I wanted to make a shabby card. And then blue. Very wintry, white and blue and silver. That's what I'm thinking. And then I moved on to trying it with my pan pastels. And notice I'm not being fussy at all about the coloring. I'm just coloring because there's die cut. There's a die cut that matches this. This one is done in gold, and I doubt you'll be able to see the shimmer that there's a little bit of it that the pan pastels give off in the golds and silvers. They're really beautiful. And I did some blue, and of course, you know, going outside doesn't really matter because I'm going to die cut all of those. So I thought I would share with you, especially for those of you who don't have pan pastels. Oh, and I've also been doing a little bit more on vellum. If I can get, let's take a piece of the red cardstock there. I've been playing around with vellum a little bit more. I have my Clarity Stamps groovy plate and things I want to do some projects with, and I'm going to set up a few pieces of vellum to go here. So I've been playing around with that, and I actually got the needle that you punch the holes with, and I picked up from Amazon this plate, which is metal, and you use the needle to punch the little holes along the side, and then if you cut really closely to the edge, you'll be able to actually cause the paper to scallop and have that, you know, old-fashioned vellum. And then I just did some embossing on the flowers here. So anyway, that's what I've been doing, and I thought I would share with you a little bit of my coloring in on pan pastels. So I have a plain black Memento ink version of the poinsettias here, and I have my pan pastels in my tray, and I'm going to stick to just the red and maybe a little of this brown. Let me pull out just a little so you can see me touching the pan pastels as well. And if I have my tools right next to me, which I hope I do, I thought I'd just share this with you in case there's anybody out there that doesn't have any, or you've been thinking about buying them. They're so fun, really, to play with and just color. Now, they are, as far as I know, oil-based, and they can come off. So it probably would be advisable to somewhat seal them. Hope I'm not saying 3,000 times. I think I am. So it would be good to seal them. You don't have to make anything fancy out of it. I just take very inexpensive hairspray and, you know, spray over it. Nice if I got a shot for you there. And you can see I'm just touching, and look at how much red is coming off. But the thing is, you can very easily mute it down and take the edge off of the color if it's too much, and then you don't have to worry about where your die cuts land either. So this is what I've been doing for hours, just inking, stamping, cutting, embossing, coloring, and getting ready to make even one single card. I'll be at this a while, and maybe I'll be able to share the process more with you, but I really am enjoying playing with the stamps. They are beautiful, and I'm enjoying playing with all my little goodies in 2 seconds here and there that I have, being able to use pan pastels to speed up the process a little. And now I'll just touch the brown and put a little bit of shading into the center so it darkens up slightly. And so the pan pastels, you could go dark enough so that it actually starts to cover up the ink, but I'm keeping it very light. And you have a lot of control over how dark or light you use these, or how much you want on your projects. So just to create a little bit of blending and variations in the color, just in the center there, around where the shadows would fall towards the center of the leaves. So like I was saying, I don't know where this is all going to land. But this is what I'm spending a lot of my time doing, just as you probably are, and getting ready for the holidays here. And I will try to share as I move along with these projects with you a little bit more. So I guess consider this part 1 of the Heartfelt Creations cards production line, and I'll be back hopefully with more of the job done. Till next time, everybody, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. Hope you're all doing well, and I'm enjoying the time that I get to watch your videos. Thank you very much for sharing with me. God bless everyone.